What is going on, guys? It's your boy Grizz, and today what I'm going to be showing you guys how to do is just a little 2D banner tutorial type of thing. This is just one of the styles that I like to use for 2D banners. It looks really clean in my opinion, so let's go ahead and we already have a little color scheme picked out right here. So let's actually, I think I want to add a pattern to this. Pattern overlay. Okay, you know what? We already know what color we're gonna pick, obviously. So we'll rasterize it. That way the pattern will finally show up. So pattern overlay. Alright, let's find a nice little pattern. No, I'm thinking something kind of like that, but not quite. I really like these. The lines are really nice. I take that back. I use lines a lot in 2D work. I'm not really sure what it is. Just the way they look and everything really just tops it out for me. We're gonna make the pattern overlay to. I'm wanting to say, I think it's overlay. No, definitely not overlay. We'll make it to soft light, and we'll change the opacity down to where you can barely see it. 30, no, we'll go down to 15. No, 10. Is it still showing up real good? No, okay, 5. Okay, there we go. Now if you guys will look, we'll zoom in on it a little bit here. You can still see it, but when you zoom out to around the actual banner size, we'll say that's the real banner size, it's just a nice little texture. You can't tell it completely, but it's a nice texture. It gives it a nice little feel to it. Another thing I like to do is we'll go to filter, or actually we'll create a new layer. We'll make it, you gotta always have these colors if you're gonna do this. Make it kind of like that. We'll change the other one to more of a lighter color, and we'll go filter. I think it's this. No, it's render. Filter, render, and then clouds, and then it gives you that. We're gonna go to overlay. See how it gives it a nice little texture. We're actually gonna go down to around 10%, and if you see, gives it a nice little feel to it. Kind of highlights some areas, which makes the banner, in my opinion, look really good. You can or you can change the opacity to as low as you want. You can have it like that. You can have it within this area, but for my recommendation, it would be around the 10 to 15% opacity area. So now that we have that, let's see. What's another thing? I'm not really that good with a pen tool. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm really not. I would actually say I'm horrible at it. I do try though. I do try. So we're going to go to make a straight line with a pen tool. You want to hold Shift and click, and that makes a straight line. It does not work when you're going diagonal. Well, actually, it kind of does. But if you wanted it to slant up more, you'd have to do that yourself, because say if I click Shift and then click up here, well, wait, Shift and click around this area, it's not going to do it. But if I just don't Shift and click, it'll go straight to it. So if you want a straight line, Shift and click unless you're going diagonal. We're actually going to, okay, so we're going to make a little overlay type of thing for the banner, which is where the text is going to go. So we're going to go up right here. We're going to go straight down. Actually, maybe I don't want to do that. I'm not really sure right now. We'll do that, and then now I'm going to show you guys something really quick. It doesn't matter when you're outside of the banner because it's not going to show up. Once you've made your shape, see how this is more narrow than this. This is a little bit bigger on the side. If you want, if you want it like that, that's fine. But I kind of like my stuff symmetrical, so you're gonna want to hit Control. I'm not sure what it is on Mac. I think on Mac it's Command. Not really sure, but whatever the Control is on Mac. So we're gonna Control and click and see how it does that right there. We're going to click on, say, one of the corners, Control, and then click on one of the corners. Make sure you still have your pen tool selected. We're going to drag this right here. We're going to click on the line while holding Control, and we're going to drag that up. And I'm going to say that is about even. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do this the way. See how it's straight. Always hold Control when you're doing this, because if you don't, you can do that, and it does that right there. So Control Z to backspace that. That is actually looking pretty good. So what we're going to do now is we're gonna make sure this is even. Okay. So you're gonna want to make a new layer before or after you do all this. If you want, it doesn't matter, before or after. Make selection, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the marquee tool, which is this right here, the rectangular marquee. I don't really think it matters. We're gonna go to fill, and I'm actually just gonna use a color because I don't want to have to backspace all this. We're gonna use kind of not completely white, but you can see right here it's just a little bit darker of a white, kind of like a pearl white, or a pearl white, I guess you could say. So we're going to click OK, and then we're going to right click and go to deselect. And what we're going to want to do is, let's go ahead and press Control H to hide the ruler thing, or the guidelines. And we're going to Control J this, Control T, flip horizontal. And you can actually use this in overlays if you wanted, because see how it does that right there? That can be a nice little overlay. So we're going to hold Shift while this is here, and let's see, how do we want to do this? I wish that wouldn't happened. Alright, we'll turn back on the guidelines for this actually. And that looks pretty even to me. So we're going to do that, we're going to hide it. Okay, it's looking pretty good so far. I've noticed sometimes when I do this, it has, let me see, it probably did it on this. What did it? It does not look like it did. Let's zoom out. It did look okay. Sometimes it'll this one will be completely normal, and this one will have a little bit of white sticking out right here. There's no other way I know how to fix it other than zooming in real close and using your marquee tool, and then cutting it off. But there's no other way I know how to do it. You guys will just have to experiment with it. Maybe you'll find your own way to do it. So we have that, and the banner looks kind of weird right now. Right? It just has this orange, and then it has this white, and it just looks really weird. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight both of these, which is you can click on one of them and then hold Shift to do that right there, and click on it, and it highlights both. We're gonna Control E, which merges them, or you could just right click and merge. It doesn't matter. We're going to Control T again. We're going to flip vertical this time. I did not Control J it, did I? I did not. We're going to Control J to duplicate it. Control T, right click, flip vertical, and let's see. We're actually going to leave the box here. Okay, so we're going to make sure. So let's see. How is that looking right now? It looks okay right now. So what else? Is there anything else we can do? I want it to be a little bit more symmetrical, so we're gonna bring back up the guidelines here, and that is actually looking pretty good right now. Okay, so we're going to again highlight both of these, and either you can just right click and click merge layers, or you can Control E, it doesn't matter. We're actually going to bring this down just a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to go down to your fill, and we're going to bring the fill down to where it's hardly noticeable. So see, 0 does that. You can go up a little bit. It just at 1%. You can see a little bit of a difference. So we're going to go up to around a we'll go 5. Or actually, alright, we'll go to a 7. That looks a little decent. I'm actually gonna experiment something while we're in here. So okay, so orange and black go pretty good together. We're gonna make this a straight black. We're going to go down to a 1. Alright, actually, and then we're gonna go to opacity. Bring the opacity of the stroke down to a full 30. You know what? We'll give it an inner shadow. Make it look a little more decent. So we'll bring the distance down to 4. We'll bring the size. We're actually going to experiment with the size. The size will just keep going up until we think it looks decent enough. So we'll leave it at 30 size. Depending on what kind of little overlay type of thing this little designer here, depending on what kind you're going to have is going to be the stroke or the inner shadow size. You just got to experiment with it, like I said. So let's see. That is looking pretty good. We're actually going to go back into the stroke. We're going to, not the stroke, the inner shadow, my bad. We're going to lower the opacity. We'll go to 45. Let's see if that is good enough. 45, 40. Okay, 40 is looking pretty good right now. So that is that. See how it's like a nice little indent, kind of. That's pretty much what we're wanting on it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our text. We'll just use, I guess, example for this. I have no idea. Okay, there we go. Why it was taking so long. Example. Most text looks really good in caps, so just turn on your cap lock, or at least that's what I do, is turn on my caps lock and type. So let's see, what kind of text do we want to use? I'm going to use, I think I still have it, Typograph Pro. Okay, so we'll Control T, we'll bring this up to a decent size, kind of center it off real quick. Okay, that looks center enough to me. If you guys want, you can move it up like that. You don't want it touching the top, and you can Control J, bring back in your type tool, Control A to highlight it all. You can go down to, let's say, 50. Okay, 50. We'll go 45. Okay, and while it's highlight, actually, we'll go to, come on, load up. Huh, that's probably why. Okay, we're gonna bring this down just a little bit. Example. So if you're in a clan, or you're doing this for a client and they're in a clan, all you got to do, this is what I've seen on a lot of banners and what I do sometimes. You can, we'll say proud, turn on caps lock, proud member of clan. Okay, and see how that looks pretty nice. What we can do is we can highlight it. We can go down to around, what is that, 37? We can go down to 35. And you're going to click this. I think this is the properties. Yeah, see the panels and everything. So right here, this is the spreading of the letters. See, we can smush them all together kind of like that, or we can space them out. What you're going to want to do right here is space it out. This isn't the exact number, just whichever one looks good to you. And we're going to do that. So right now, it's looking pretty good in my opinion. So now that we have that, if there is anything in particular, like we'll say link boxes or anything, I'm actually going to show you how to do link boxes. We'll just do a few link box designs next video. But for right now, this is what we're going to keep. So let's go ahead and spruce up the text. So let's see, we'll go to a nice, actually I think I have this. Let me see, we'll do that. See, that looks kind of nice, but I don't want that. You guys are probably thinking, wow, Grizz, you're just retarded. I'm trying to think. That looks stupid. Okay, so we're gonna keep kind of a nice little grayish, whitish color. So on the stroke, you don't have to have a stroke. I'm actually going to take it off. For the inner shadow, you kind of want one. Inner shadows and gradient overlays are completely up to you, but for this example, this is what I'm going to be doing. You can make this right here. You can actually, first you'll start off with 2, okay? You can make the 2 whatever color you want, and to add in the middle one, you can just click anywhere, I mean literally anywhere, and it brings another one in, and then you can just drag it and then create the color. So we're going to Control Z. We're actually going to keep this the way it is, so we'll click cancel, and as you see, it has a nice little color. So what I am going to do is I'm going to bring this to a lighter color, barely lighter, but you can still tell that it's light right there. That we'll copy this so it's exactly the same on this side. If it'll, okay, there we go. Paste, and then there we go. It looks a little bit nicer. So we'll click OK. Drop shadow, again, this is completely your opinion. This is pretty much a fact. No one's gonna like a drop shadow when it's like that right there, and then that just looks pitiful. We'll bring these back to 20. Bring this one back to 20, and see, it's a drop shadow is pretty much a drop shadow. So don't make it real big. Don't make it too little to where you can't tell where it is. Just make it nice enough to where it goes good with the banner or any type of design that you're using. So now that we're done with that, we're going to right click and copy this layer style onto this. Now if you see how it looks, the drop shadow looks really defined in this. Easy way to fix that is we'll double click drop shadow. We'll bring these down to around 10 each. None. Okay, there we go. Okay, and see, you can still tell it's there. Yeah, you can still tell it's there, but it's not too big to where it's really ugly. So this is actually a pretty nice banner so far. There's actually a lot more things that you guys can do to make this more, custom. Let's see, we can do, what else can we do? We can do a little link thing. So we'll actually go into my 250 subscriber graphic pack. We'll go to, I think it's social. Yeah, okay. So we'll do Twitter. Okay. So we'll bring this down. We'll drag in the Twitter, and then see it. We have our Twitter. So the Twitter can be anywhere. It can be right here, down here in the thing. Just for purposes, I'm gonna make it in this little box thing that we have here, the little design. Bring it down to right there. We'll paste the layer style. See, it looks really nice. So what we're gonna do, you don't want it too big to where it's hanging off or anything like that. So we're gonna make it just a little bit. Actually, we're gonna bring it just down just a little bit. Just in case you guys have not figured this out, this is actually kind of an old trick. Once you're doing this, if you don't hold shift, it's pretty easy to mess up and everything. So like that. Okay, if you hold shift, it does it perfect. See, there's no messing up. I can do this all day and it doesn't mess up. But you always want to hold shift so it doesn't distort the image or make it taller, wider than it should be. So we're going to move this up, and the way I'm doing this without touching the mouse is the arrow keys. You can do that. Now we're actually going to add a little lighting effect here. So let's see. I'll show you how to do a little lighting effect really fast. We're going to use not a complete white, but down just a hair. Okay, so gonna make. Wait, did I do it right? Okay. If you have cap lock, or if you have caps lock on, say, alright, see how you see the little circle to where the brush is? If you have caps lock on, it will become this. So always make sure to keep caps lock off when you're doing brush work. We're gonna bring this up just a little bit. The way I'm doing this is the little bracket keys on your keyboard. It has like one. The left one makes it smaller, the right one makes it bigger. So see, I can just sit here and do this, and it's real nice. So we're gonna make this kind of a medium size. I want it to cover most of the little box we have here. Okay, so we're actually going to make a new layer, and we're gonna do, let's say, we'll go about that. Added a nice little light. So we're gonna go with overlay, and I'm not really sure about this. We don't want it too noticeable to where it looks just stupid. So we'll bring it down to around, I think 30 is good enough for this. Yeah, you can tell it's there, but it's not, you know, too ugly or too much to where it's ugly. So the banner is actually looking really nice right now. Twitter, we'll actually have to do this. The Twitter can be pretty much whatever, so we'll just use example. Okay, so example, we'll make the text a little bigger, and I see that it still has the little spread thing on it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight it, go back into this, and we'll bring that down some, just a little bit. Alright, now the text isn't completely smushed together, but it's still close enough to where we can make the text a little bigger. So that's pretty much what I was wanting. Okay, so right now the banner does look good. This is just a simple style. I mean, see how clean it looks and everything. You can do different designs than this right here. You can do any types really. It just, you use your own design, or if you saw a design that you liked, try to make your own of it. You know, make it look pretty cool. Let's see, we'll paste it. There we go. Okay, so now that we have this, there's a lot of other things that you can do. Say if the person has a text logo or a logo that they have, you can use that. Say, let me see, we'll go to open, if it'll open. Come on. Okay. So we're actually going to go to solo channels. Okay, solo channels, or not solo, personal. We'll go to my signature. We'll open up my signature, which is that right there. We'll bring this down. We'll drop it in right here. Okay, say this is the logo. This is the person's logo. Another thing to give the background a little bit more texture, to make it look a little bit more cleaner. You guys have probably seen this in a lot of 2D work. We're gonna make it pretty big. I'm gonna say like around that big. Looks pretty good. We're gonna rotate it just a little bit, and we'll do that. We're gonna bring it behind everything else, except for the cloud and everything. We want it to obviously be above that. And what we're gonna do, this actually looks pretty good. So what we're gonna do is, I think it's, yeah, okay, overlay. I have no idea why I did that. We're actually gonna do a color thing. Since obviously we're working with white and we want the background to have more of the texture to it, what we're gonna do is color overlay. We don't want it to be red. We want it to be white. See how good that looks? That looks really good in my opinion. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to make this a little bit bigger. Alright, now that we have that bigger, we are going to want to add a little bit more texture to the background, I guess you could say. So we'll do overlay, of course, and then we'll bring down the opacity. We don't want it like that. We actually want it very, very little. See, gives it a little bit more texture, so we're going to bring it up to a 3. Actually, we'll keep it at a 3. Okay, now that we have that, see how it gave the background a little bit more texture? We're going to Control J it, Control T, and then we're going to flip horizontal, and we're going to do the exact same thing over here. Actually, don't flip it horizontal unless you're doing it a different way. I'm actually just going to kind of flip it upside down, I guess you could say. Okay, so Gave it a little bit more texture. It looks really good right now. And if you have your own little signature, you can put it down here at the bottom. This right here isn't nothing too special. There's obviously a lot of different work or a lot of different styles that you can do. This is, in my opinion, is just kind of like a professional look of a 2D banner. So this is pretty much it for this video, guys. Next video, I'm not going to do link boxes. I kind of lied about that. Next video, I'm going to show you the grunge type of banners that you can do with 2D work. 3D will be at the last, but 2D is what I'm working on now, since that is what I've had the most requests for. So this is more of a professional style 2D banner. If you guys enjoyed this video or this tutorial, please leave a like and a comment. Comment what else you want to see from me, because I will do any suggestions on tutorials, Photoshop wise. I'll probably be doing Cinema 4D once I get more advanced in Cinema 4D. So like I said, leave a like and a comment if you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe if you're new, because you will be seeing a lot of great content from me. I will see you guys in the next tutorial, which should be up tomorrow. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Yeah.